LK basin change instructions for the new versatile bi-level cooler with bottle filler. The new versatile bi-level coolers with bottle filler option come from the factory with the bottle filler option on the right or refrigerated side. If you are going to mount your bottle filler on the left hand or non-refrigerated side, you will need to do this basin change. Tools needed: you will need a 5/16 socket and a T20 6-point star drive bit. To start, you'll be removing 4 5/16 socket head cap screws from the bottom of each cooler to remove the wrapper. Just set the wrappers aside for now. There's a filler panel that needs to be removed with the 5/16 bit to expose the screws retaining the shroud. You will be reinstalling that panel in that location if you will be mounting the left hand or non-refrigerated side high. Later in the video, we will show how to install it if you will be installing the right side or refrigerated side high. Using the T20 bit, loosen the screws retaining the shroud. There's 4 on each cooler. Gently pop the shroud loose to expose the wires. You'll be disconnecting through 2 black wires that come from the shroud. There are only 2 wires coming from the shroud. One goes to the solenoid, the other goes to the cold control. Next, you'll be removing the water line. Pull back the collar, push in the tube, and remove the tube. The first shroud is now removed. Set that aside. On the non-refrigerated side, same procedure. There will be 2 wires, 2 black wires, coming from the shroud, this time connected to the solenoid and to the power cord. Disconnect both. Disconnect the water line by pulling the collar in, pulling out the blue line. Both shrouds are now off. You will need to change the plumbing lines. Do so by loosening the 5/16 clamp and swapping the drain pieces. Be sure to tighten the clamps. Disconnect the purple wire off the water solenoid on the refrigerated side. Move to the non-refrigerated side, pulling the yellow wire and connecting the purple wire to the same terminal. Moving back to the refrigerated side, place the yellow wire on the terminal where the purple wire came from. To place the shroud back on the chassis, take one of the black wires, one of the two, it is not important which one, reconnect to the solenoid and cold control terminals. Connecting the water line requires routing behind the cold control. And firmly push in the poly line to seat the tube. When replacing the shroud, be careful not to pinch any lines or wires. Tighten the screws, but do not over tighten, as you may crack the shroud or strip out the screws. Next, check to make sure that there's nothing pinched and that your fan blade spins freely. You've now completed the refrigerated side. This portion is if you will be mounting the right side or refrigerated side high. You will be moving the clip that retains the filler panel that we'll be showing, and you will only be moving this if you will be mounting the refrigerated side high. If the non-refrigerated side is mounted high, you will be putting this panel on the non-refrigerated side in the same fashion. Again, to install the shroud, take one of the two black wires, it is not important which, from the shroud, plug into the power cord and onto the solenoid terminal. Connect your water line by firmly pressing in to the fitting to seat it. Again, tighten the shroud screws. Do check to make sure no wires have been pinched during the process. The basin change is now complete. See your installation manual for the drain configurations depending on how you're mounting your cooler.